All right, and we are ready to go. So we're going to be starting standing. Let me see, you guys can see me there nicely. And we're going to be up at the front edge of our mats. So separating your feet just a little bit. Take a look. Mr. Price. Take a look down and make sure that your feet are in line with each other. Lift your chin looking forward to the horizon. Just roll your shoulders back and around a few times. And then just letting your arms settle, letting your scapula settle on the back of your ribs. And pause for a moment as you close your eyes. Let your breathing slow down. Taking a moment to feel your body in space. Feeling the connections of your feet to the earth. Feeling the connection of the crown of your head up towards the clouds. Feeling your joints stack from your ankles to knees, to your hips, to your pelvis. Feeling each vertebra stacking and lifting. Feeling your rib cage settle. Noticing your shoulders, elbows, wrists, and hands. Take a moment as you notice your breath, each inhale and each exhale as it moves through your body. Feeling the energy and the oxygen that it carries. And taking a moment on this Saturday morning to observe your energy. How does your energy feel today? Just let your eyes relax backwards into your head. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth and sigh. Blinking your eyes open. Bring yourself back onto your mat. Taking both arms all the way out. Reach them up. Connect your fingertips to each other. And then open your arms wide. Clear a little bit of space for yourself. Nod your chin. And then just softening the curve of your spine just till your hands are in front of your knees. Take another little breath. And go all the way forward until your fingertips maybe touch the ground, maybe they're hanging, maybe your hands are flat on the ground if you're super duper flexible. Give your head a little shake no. And then nod your chin, yes. And then do one bending of the knees, one straightening of the knees as much as you can to release the hamstrings. And then soften your knees once again. Roll yourself up halfway, just halfway. Get the abdominals connecting and place your hands on the fronts of your thighs. Support yourself here. Start to lengthen the spine, reaching your tail out, reaching forward through your crown, and then round your spine, lifting your belly, using your hands to support you as you curl. And again, lengthening the spine. Slide your shoulders away from your ears and then curl the spine. And feel how your feet are rooting you. So as you move your spine into flexion and extension, you can connect into the ground. Balance. Round your spine and stay here. Let your hands go. Let them hang heavy. Take a breath in. And exhale, back up you come. Shoulders relaxed and lifting tall. Taking your arms, reaching out, breathing all the way up. Exhale, open the arms nice and wide, nod your chin, and once again, we roll halfway down, just until your hands are in front of your knees, and you pause here. And then fold over from the crease of the hip, coming all the way down. Maybe you can go a little bit further this time if you feel that things are loosening up. Give your head a little shake. Give your head a little nod. And straightening of the knees. Bend. And lifting the hips up. Find that stretch along the back of the leg. And now soften your knees. Now start rolling up. This time you're going to stop with your hands in front of your shins. Put your hands to the front of your legs to hold on. And then we start moving the spine. Lengthen through the crown. And then lift the belly, round your upper back and tuck your chin in. And again, lengthen. And just connect your breath to your movement as it feels natural for you. Rooting into your feet as you unravel the spine. Coming all the way up and tall. And just take a moment to focus your gaze. One more time, we inhale, reach up. And breathe, open the arms wide. And open across your heart, your chin, and start rolling forward. And once again, we're going to stop with the hands just in front of the knees so you can feel the curve of your spine. And then fold over from the front of the hips so you start to feel release into the back of the legs. And then stay folded over. Give your head a little release. Let your head hang heavy. Do one bend and stretch of the knees. And lengthen the hamstrings. Now bend your knees enough that you can put your fingertips flat to the ground. And from here, start to lengthen the spine. Maybe you go onto the tips of the fingers, but just make sure that you keep your hands on the floor. And then round the spine. And again, lengthen. So guys, we're doing a cat stretch. It just so happens that we are in an upright position, not on our hands and knees. One more time, lengthen the spine. And round the spine. And now this time, just fold over until you can either put your fingertips or flat hands to the ground, depending on how flexible you are. Bend your knees halfway. Move your body weight over to your right leg. Connect your core and pick up the left leg and just bring that leg a little bit behind you. Now your fingers are on the ground for support. Your abs are tight, but you better be working that right bum to help you balance. Let's do a little bend of the right knee and a little straightening of the right knee. You don't have to go all the way straight. Figure out how far you can go as you do this single leg squat. And let's do one more time. Bend the knee, now stay here. Stretch all the way back and take a big step back. Now, if you need to put a cushion underneath your knee, do so. Lower your knee to the ground. And then release that foot back. And bring your hands up onto that front knee. Connect your core. Heart is lifted, shoulders are easy. Start to do a little push away from the front leg and forward again. And as you do this movement, think of your front foot connecting into the ground. And then as your foot roots, take the crown of your head up towards the clouds. One more time, press back. And then come forward and hold it. Now stay here, put your left hand flat to the ground. Right hand on the knee. You start to pivot, rotating the spine. And then you can stay here, or if it's available to you, taking the right hand up. We breathe. 3, inhale and exhale. Let your breath release and extend from the inside out. And then coming all the way back, move your hands back a little bit in line with the heel of the foot, and we start shifting a little bit forwards and a little bit backwards. So we're going to be going into that hamstring release that you guys have done with me. And you're going to press back, hold it here. Now keep the front knee a little bent up. And then we start to do a little internal, external rotation. Shoulders away from the ears, lengthen through the crown. So guys, remember this is our hamstring release, the fascial glide. We haven't tried it, but I'm pretty sure we could all get pretty close to doing the splits now after doing this, right? And bring it back to the center, place your foot down, walk yourself forward and put your fingertips to the ground, tuck the back toes, and we're going to pick up the back knee. Stay here for a moment with the abdominals connected. Find the energy through the crown of your head, and then we're going to bend the knee and do a little kick. And again. One more. And now kick forward. Balance, balance, balance. Have you got that right gluteal working? Step that left foot in. And then balance on both your feet and let your body just fold over. Give your head a little bit of a shake. Nod your head. And then connecting into the fingertips. Bend your knees halfway and shift to the left leg. Pick up that right leg and balance. Stay here. And now start to straighten and bend the leg that you are standing on. You're using your fingertips to help you balance. Your core muscles are connected. Focus your eye line. And I highly recommend breathing, by the way. Oxygen's good. Bend your knee and stop. Stretch the leg back. And take a big step back so you are in a lunge. Put the cushion where you need. And then place your knee down. Relax your foot. Walk your hands up on that knee. Up you come and then you just pause here. Find your breath. Open up across the chest. Relax the shoulders. Core muscles are connected. And then allow yourself to move forwards and backwards gently. And as you do this shifting, find your left foot at the front, rooting into the ground. And then get the sensation of the crown of your head lifting up towards the heavens. We're going to do one more. Come a little bit forward. Put your right hand, either fingertips or flat hand to the ground. Left hand on the knee as you guide yourself into a little bit of a twist. And then if you can, reach the left hand up. And we hold it here. 3 sets of breathing. Slow your breathing down. And feel how the inhale and the exhale release and expand you from the inside. And release. Fingertips to the ground, just on either side of the heel of your foot. And let's just move a little bit backwards and forwards. It doesn't matter if you don't go that far back. Just find your edge. And then stay here for a moment. Now, remember you've got to bend the front knee a little bit. Lift your toes up towards the sky. And then we do our little internal, external rotation. Now remember that we're trying to keep the pelvis and the shoulders and the spine still. And this is just coming from the top of the hip bone. Notice if one side is easier than the other. Bring your foot back to the center. Walk your toes down. Bring your body weight forward and place your fingertips to the ground. Tuck your back toes. Lift up your back leg and create that long straight line of your body. Stay here for a moment. Abs are connected. And now, bend the back knee and give a little hop. And again. And again. And now this time, come forward and balance. Balance. Stay with your breath. Step that right foot in and relax over. Softening through the back of the neck. Take a breath in and slowly unravel. Coming all the way up. Lifting all the way up and tall. Take a moment to focus your eye line. Perhaps roll the shoulders back and around for a moment. And then allow your arms to settle. Take your right arm, reach it up, reach it over. Let's do one long stretch out. Come back, releasing the arm down. And the left arm reaches to the side, over, and one long stretch. Reach through the fingertips, open the side ribs, push the hip gently, and come all the way back. Both arms. Inhale, reach up, touch your fingertips, and now open your arms wide across your chest, clearing some space. Nod your chin, and just roll halfway down, just until your hands are in line with your knees. Pause for a moment, feel it out, and then start rolling forward until you can place your fingertips onto the ground and stay here. Bend your knees halfway, move your body weight over to the right leg, pick up the left leg, and hold it in the air. Now this time, stretch the left leg back, but you're not going to put your foot on the knee if you can extend it, and then bend it back in. Core connection. Focus your eye line. It will help you balance, and feel your right foot and your 10 fingertips connecting to the ground. And in. Now on this last one, stretch that leg back and placing the toes to the ground. Now, we're going to keep that leg lifted, but if it's uncomfortable, put the cushion underneath your knee and then put your knee on the cushion. See if you can walk your hands up onto that front knee. And we're going to lift the eye line, engage the core, soften through the neck and shoulders, and just balance here for a moment. Now this is small. You're going to do a little push back with the front leg, keep the heel down, and then bend the knee forward. Good. So that front foot stays flat. And guys, you don't have to keep your back leg straight. If there's any strain in your back, then just bend the front knee. No big deal. And press. And now come forward and hold it. Reach down and put your left hand, either fingertips or flat hand to the ground. Right hand on your knee, and let's go into that same little twist. Remember, you can put your knee down at any point. Right hand reaches up, and we stay here and we breathe. Feel how your breath helps you release, soften, expand, and coming all the way down, put your fingertips on either side of that front foot. And now let's see if we can straighten that front knee. You don't have to go all the way straight, just as much as you can. And bend the front knee again. Think of lengthening forward to the crown of the head. Shoulders away from the ears, and your heart is open. Your chest is wide. And bending the knee, hold it. Walk your fingertips forward. You're going to bend the back knee and push. And again. And again. And now this time forward you come and you balance. Bend both your knees. Can you feel your right bum working? Rise up onto the tips of the fingers. Long spine, and see if you can lift your hands off the floor. Put your fingertips down, step the left foot in, and relax over. Surrender here for a moment. Folding over, softening through the back of the neck, and feel your breath. Fingertips to the ground, bend your knees halfway. Move your body weight over to the left leg, and see if you can pick up the right leg and hold it. Core connection. We're going to stretch that right leg back, but remember, we're not going to step down. We're just seeing if we can extend it. And bend the knee in. And again, so remember all that 4-point kneeling work we do where we stretch the leg back and you've got to lift the leg up without dropping the back? Guys, this is it. We just happen to be in a standing position. And now stretch your leg back and you're going to put your toes down onto the ground. Now, walk your hands up onto the knee. At any point, if you want to put the back knee on the floor, do so. Lifting your gaze, soften your shoulders, soften your gaze. And let's do just a little bit of shifting forwards and backwards, not big. Just a little bit. Notice the opportunity to open and release that right hip. Last one. And hold it. Now you're either going to go onto fingertips or onto flat hand. You decide. Right hand onto the floor. Left hand on the knee. And guide yourself into your twist. Reaching the left hand up. 3 breaths in and out. Make any adjustments to your position that work for you. Bend the back knee if you need to. And release. Placing your fingertips to the ground on either side of your foot. And let's push back. And we are making a pyramid position. So as you straighten the leg, there's that lovely V shape. Stay with your breath. Last one. Bend the front knee. Walk your fingertips forward. Abs. Give a little kick. And up you come, balance. Bend both your knees. Wakey, wakey, left bum. Go onto the tips of your fingers. And see if you can lift your hands. Fingertips down. Step that right foot in and relax over. Oh, that feels so good. Just let your body completely surrender here for a moment. Soften your knees. Unravel your spine, coming all the way up. And such a wonderful connection into that whole back line of the body. Roll the shoulders around. Taking the right arm, reaching it out. Taking a long stretch to the side. And release. Left arm. Long stretch. And release. Both arms, inhale. Touch the fingertips. Exhale, open your arms. Nod your chin. And just letting yourself roll all the way forward. Bending your knees, placing your fingertips to the ground. Standing on your right leg, just step the left leg all the way back. Put your hands flat. Step the right leg all the way back, and you hold your plank position. Don't let anything move except you pivot your feet so that the heels touch each other, and then you separate your heels again. It's like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. Pivot, and release. One more time. Pivot, and release. Bring one knee in. Bring the other knee in, open the knees wide, sit back, and coming into a resting space. Bring your hands together, palms of the hands touching, bend your elbows, and place your hands behind your head. And just let yourself pause, take rest, connecting into your breath, feeling your energy and feeling your physical body. Bringing your hands forward, separating your hands, draw yourself up onto all fours, making any adjustments that you need. We're going to be transitioning into a downward facing dog. So spread your fingers out, tuck your toes under, start just by hovering your knees off the ground, and then moving your shoulders back, send your hips up, and then bend your knees to come down, and move your shoulders above your hands. And again, move back. Send your hips up, bend your knees, and in. One more time, press back, send your hips up, and we're going to stay here just for a moment. Just pedal the heels up and down for a second, getting a stretch into the calf muscles and into the Achilles, and then push both heels down. Stay here for a moment, soften the back of your neck. Just pick up your right leg, not too high. Bring that knee forward towards the right wrist and put your shin onto the floor. Yeah? And now pivot your right foot across under your body and walk your hips and your legs back. So we're coming into a sleeping pigeon pose. You're going to feel it in that right hip. Now, if you need to put a cushion underneath your hip for support, do it. Otherwise, settle your body and come down and see if you can rest your head. And if you need a cushion under your head, do so. So guys, if you've got serious knee issues, this isn't the easiest position to get into. Don't feel good, rather just lie on your back and hug your knees to your chest for a stretch. Otherwise, make any adjustments you need to your placement until you can feel a stretch into that deep right hip. And pausing here for a moment to breathe. We've got another few moments here. Just allow your body to soften. And if any of you have done yin yoga before, the yin yoga practice, you stay in these stretches and poses for up to 4 and 5 minutes. So we're not going to stay here that long. But the trick is to find a place where you can breathe and allow the breath to carry you through any discomfort. Taking one more inhale and exhale. And then take your time as you come all the way up, pushing your hands firmly to the ground. And then tuck your back toes under, make sure that your knee feels okay. Take your time as you lift your hips, so you're pushing into your hands and into your back foot, and then slowly step back and coming into your downward facing dog. Pedal the heels down one at a time. And then settle yourself. Pause for a moment, soften the back of your neck. And then pick up the left leg, not too high, and bring your knee all the way forward towards the left wrist. Put your shin down, and then pivot that left foot across your body and start to settle yourself back into sleeping pigeon on the other side. So use props wherever you need, and then settle your head and shoulders down. Maybe you need a cushion underneath your head as well, which is absolutely fine. And then just observe on this side if you need to make any adjustments. So what worked for you on the right leg might be quite different from the left side. And we breathe. Allowing yourself to soften and release. Finding that edge. Where's the space where you can settle and allow your breath to carry you through any discomfort? Taking just a few more moments. And then in your own time, start to bring yourself up. Pressing onto your hands. Now we're not going to be going into our down dog, but I still want you to find the connection into your hands. Tuck the back toes under. Lifting your hips up just enough that you can alleviate any pressure on that left hip. And then move to sit on your hips so you can bring your legs all the way around. So you're going to have your knees bent, separating your feet slightly. Arms are out. Easy through the neck and shoulders. On your breath, start curling your tailbone under. We're only going back part way, just enough to connect the core. Stay for the breath in, and then exhale, forward you come, and lifting out of your hips. 3 more times. Pause for a moment, and forward. Last 2. Feel how the belly pulls away from your thighs. And roll up. 1 more time. Pause for a moment. And forward, lifting up. And then I want you to place your hands behind you, placing your hands flat, and do a tiny tilt with your pelvis. Bringing one knee up to tabletop, abs. Bring the other knee up to join. Move your hands if you need to. And simply squeeze the knees and the ankles together. Shoulders away from the ears. And I want you to feel light. I want you to feel how your breath can allow you to lift. Exhale, feel that deep connection to your core. Staying just for 1 more moment. And now, just allow your legs to split. So you bring your right leg to the side, bringing your left shin into the front, and coming into your mermaid seat. So it doesn't matter if you've gone the other way, because we're going to switch to the other side. Let's go a little bit from side to side into that little seaweed action. Loosening up around the side of the ribs, the obliques. And then start to visualize what's happening with your internal organs. Feel that movement of your lungs. Feeling how your abdominals have a chance to just release all those internal organs. And coming back to the center, placing your hands behind you so that you can bring your feet up. Legs together in the air, placing yourself either onto your hands or onto the tips of your fingers, and find that feeling of floating. Abdominals connecting. So this is an isometric contraction. Remember all our open chain work? This is legs off the floor, beautiful open chain work. And on your next breath, just put a little bit of weight on the right hand so that you can split your legs the other way. So now your right leg is in front and the left leg is to the side. And once again, let's go into our seaweed. Side to side. Let's take 2 more. Moving the lungs and the heart. Feeling that release around the ribs. Come back to the center. Fingertips behind you. Swinging your legs up into the air. And now you can keep your hands on the floor, or perhaps you can go completely open chain and you hold our teaser prep starting position. Hip flexors, abdominals. Stay with your breath, placing one foot down, placing the other foot down. Lift your spine up nice and tall, half roll back. And exhale, take it back just to a point you feel the abdominals connecting. And roll forward. And sit up tall. 3 more. And forward. 2 more. And lift. And on this last one, all the way down onto your back you go. All the way down. And let your hands reach up to the sky. So you can either wiggle your hips closer to your feet or your feet closer to your hips, whatever works for you today. Have your knees and feet slightly apart. And then take a moment just to close your eyes and to feel your body being supported by the ground underneath you. And every time you breathe in and out, can you feel how the back of your ribs gently connects a little bit more to the ground, and maybe there's almost a feeling of a wave traveling down and up your spine towards your pelvis and towards your head. Taking one more time, softening into the shape. And then open your eyes, maybe blink a few times, and let's start to scissor the arms. So coordinating the right and left side of the body, energy through the fingertips, keeping the elbows as straight as possible, and bringing your awareness to the rhythm, the connection between the shoulder socket and your shoulder blade. Keep breathing. We're just going to do a few more, and then finish with the right arm overhead. Rolling onto your right side, bringing your legs, bringing your head over to the side, make a little cushion with the underneath arm, and bending both the knees. Stay here for a moment. Left hand is on the shelf of your hip, and then you extend the left leg out long, and you hold it there. You flex that left ankle, so you've got energy pushing out through the heel, and we're just gonna stay here for a few breaths in and out. So remember, when we hold our body still, but you can feel the muscles are working around that joint, that is called an isometric contraction. And it's one of the best ways for our brains to start to recognize the various muscles. So before we do any movement here, give an extra little connection to the underneath oblique, that right oblique, and then see if you can lift your leg up a little bit higher without collapsing that underneath oblique. And we're going to stay here now. So we're going to do an isometric contraction, and what you should hopefully be feeling is this little side bum muscle here called the gluteus medius is starting to work for you. So staying for just a few more breaths. Find a little bit of energy through the crown of your head. Soften through the neck. Turn your head if you need to. And now point your toes and let's draw little circles with that top leg. 5. Go slow. 4. 3. 2. 1. Suspend. Hold it and change direction. Draw 5 circles the other way. 5. 4. Bottom oblique. Last 2. Beautiful control. Last 1. Suspend, hold, and then Bring that knee all the way in. Cradle the back of the neck. Left hand reaches forward, thoracic rotation. Breathe in, lift the arm, look up. Exhale as you open up across the chest. Allow your top leg to slide a little bit if it needs. And then lifting your arm and rolling all the way back to the front. And let's do that again. Lifting arm. And reach back. Breathe in. And lifting your arm and coming all the way to the front. And let's do one more time. Lifting your arm. Feeling that opening along the front of the chest, the front arm line. And bringing your arm all the way back to the front. Bend that top arm, so you're going to put your fingertips to the ground. Stretch the underneath arm straight. Step your left leg back and look for the mat behind you, and then roll yourself onto your back. Head to the floor, knees bent, arms reaching up. Stay here for a moment, and once again, just close your eyes and just feel the earth underneath you. Notice perhaps how the left side of your body feels in comparison to the right side. You don't have to change anything, just notice on your own body. And then opening your eyes, and let's start to scissor the arms. Energy through the fingertips. Find the coordination between the right and left sides. And feeling that gliding action of the scapula, the rolling action of the shoulder joint itself. And now bringing that left arm all the way overhead. Start rolling onto your left side. Cradle your head, placing your hands onto the shelf of your hip, chin up. And then lengthen that right leg all the way out, flexing the foot. And as much as possible, you want to keep your leg at the same height and alignment of the top hip. Stay with your breath, finding your isometric work into that gluteus medius on the right side. Bottom oblique is connected. And then on your next breath, lift your right leg up a little bit higher so you feel a shortening of that muscle, that gluteus. Double check for yourself that your bottom oblique is still connected. You might even want to put your fingers on that underneath waist and give yourself a little tactile cue. Staying here for just a few more seconds, energy through the crown of your head. Give your glute med a chance to fire up. And then point your toes and let's draw little circles. 5. Keep it small and controlled. 4. 3. Keep breathing. 2. 1. And suspend, change directions, and go the other way for 5. 4. 3. Keep reaching through the toes. 2. 1. And hold. Bend your knee and allow it to release in. Cradle the back of your neck with your left hand. Right hand reaches forward. And let's go into our thoracic rotation. Lifting your arm, rolling back, and into that wonderful opening of the chest. Take a breath in. And then exhale. Roll yourself all the way back. And guys, if you need to bring your knees up higher towards your chest to protect your back, then please do so. Lifting your arm, look back, keep reaching through the fingertips, chest open. Take a breath into that front arm line, and all the way back you come. And we're going to do just one more time. And play with this arm position too. You might find if you take the arm up a little bit that it intensifies the stretch for you. And rolling all the way back. And then put your right fingertips onto the ground. Stretch the left arm out. Step your right leg back and look for the ground. Roll back. And then just settle yourself on your backs. Knees bent. Close your eyes. And again, just feel. Notice your head, your lungs and your heart, your pelvis, and the soles of your feet. Find the support from the earth underneath you. And then on your next breath, opening your eyes, interlock your fingers. You're going to place your hands underneath your head for a little bit of support. Maybe do a little bit of a wiggle of the spine if you need. And then get your lower back into a happy place. And wherever that happy place is, you then stabilize. Elbows are floating. Nod your chin. Breathe out as your ribs slide forward and basically your shoulders and head come along for the ride. And releasing slowly back. And again, breathing out as you curl forward. Inhale, gently back you go. And we're going to do 4 more. Feel the flattening of the abdominals. And release. Last 2. And one more time. Up you come and you hold it. Now don't move. I just want you to stay here and take a breath in. Breathe out and flatten your abdominals even a little bit more. And again, take a breath in. Exhale, flattening into those abdominals. One more time. And gently down you go. And holding it there. Bringing your hands out. Placing your hands in a low V with the palms down. Walk your feet to the outer edges of your mat. And then take your knees slowly from side to side. So both knees roll into the same direction. And then bring your knees over to the right side and just stay here for a moment. Turn your head to look over the left shoulder. And then if you want to increase the stretch for yourself, try squeezing your left bum cheek. So as you squeeze your left bum, you'll feel actually that that left hip gets pushed forward slightly. Take another breath in. And then release that left thumb and bring your head and your knees back to the center. And now rolling both knees over to the left, looking over the right shoulder. And then if you want to increase, you squeeze the right gluteal to push the right hip open. Keep breathing. And release. And then bringing your legs all the way back, bring your head back, and now you're going to keep your feet wide. You can keep your arms where they are, and we're going up into a pelvic curl from here. Center your spine, center your head. Start breathing as you tilt your hips, coming up into a sort of halfway bridge. So you're not going up into extension of the spine yet. The focus here is on the lift from the gluteals, from the base of the pelvis. Soften through the throat, and then roll down through your spine, and just consciously and deliberately placing yourself, feeling maybe where the areas are of your spine that are a little bit more resistant or a little bit more easy. And again, tilting hips, rolling up, and just into that straight line of the body. keeping the focus for the moment on the bum cheeks, the back of the legs, and then rippling down through the spine and releasing at the bottom. Now listen, if you've got any kind of cushion or support underneath your head, please remove it because we are going to be going higher now as well. Take a breath in. Exhale, little tilt of the hips. And start coming up into that straight line and now hold it here. Start pushing your pelvis up higher, and what you will feel is a little bit of a shortening, a connection into the lumbar spine. You still want the gluteals working, but can you feel a little bit of work into the lower back now? Still soften through your throat, and then release to come down slowly. And on your way down, really take the opportunity to release and stretch and imprint that lumbar spine and back to neutral. We're going to do that again. Little tilt, rolling up just halfway first of all, just so we really get that connection into the back of the leg. And now push your hips up a little higher, feeling the workload coming a little bit more into the lower back, and then roll down through the spine, imprint, and release. So now we're going to be coming up even higher, so you're going to feel now extension into the mid-back. On your next breath, tilting your hips, coming up just halfway. Remember, this is always kind of our stopping point, just to make sure that the gluteals and hamstrings are doing their job. Start pushing your hips up a little bit higher so that your lower back engages, and then keep your head looking up towards the sky. Start pushing your chest towards your chin. So you're going to start coming into a thoracic extension, and then start rolling down through the spine. So softening all the way through the body and releasing at the bottom. We're going to do this one more time. And tilting hips, coming up, stopping halfway, double checking your connections, and then start moving a little higher. There's lumbar extension. Keep lifting up through the chest. There's thoracic extension. And we get to ripple down through the spine. Imprint. And release. Bring one knee into your chest. Bring your other knee into your chest. Maybe just do a little bit of a rocking action from side to side just to release out the lumbar spine. And then stop in the center, one hand on each knee, and let's just mobilize into the hips with our stir the clouds. And remember, you can make these little circles as big or as small as your body needs. And then let's change direction and go the other way. And hugging the knees in. And slip your hands behind your knees. Tuck your chin in and curl yourself into the tightest little ball that you can do. And then using your legs to start a little kicking action. Rolling on your spine. Keep your chin in so you don't hit your head on the ground. And then on the last one, up you come and just balance for a second. Just balance. And placing your feet down. Now move back a little bit so that you've got your feet just at the end of your mat. And we're going to be practicing our roll-ups here. So bend your knees if you need to, if your hamstrings are tight. If your lower back is tight, then maybe put your little pillow or towel just behind your lower back like we did yesterday. Sit up nice and tall with the arms out. Now make sure that your arms stay shoulder width apart so you don't close the chest. Roll down through your spine using abdominals. Do a little bit of a pinch with your bum cheeks. And just let your arms go up and then reach your arms all the way overhead. Now let's see if we can reverse this. Lifting your arm, lift your head, exhale, Nose above the pubic bone. And then today we lift the spine and lengthen. Pick up your right leg and cross it over the left leg. So your feet are to the side, but your body stays centered. Roll down through the spine. Using abdominals, you might feel that there's a little bit of extra work around the one oblique. Reaching the arms back. And then lifting arms, lifting head, and exhale. Keeping your shoulders square so you're going to feel the workload into the one set of abdominals. Lift up tall, and then just uncross and keep your legs in parallel. Roll down. Beautiful. Nice. Reaching the arms back. And now lifting arms, lifting head. Breathe. Yes, nice. Nose above pubic bone and lift up tall. Cross the left ankle over. And again, curl back. Reaching arms over. And one more time, lift arms, lift head. Feeling that workload into the one set of obliques. Lift up tall, separate the legs. Last time, make it the best one that you can. Inner thighs, gluteals, energy through fingertips. And we reach. Lift arms, lift head, exhale. And this time, let's go all the way forward. Hold your knees, hold your shins, hold your ankles, whatever you can. And just make yourself relax forward. Take a breath in, and then unravel the spine. And coming up and tall. Make your way up into a standing position. And you can stand on your mats. Separate the feet slightly. Let your arms settle beside you. Roll the shoulders back. And then just closing your eyes. Feeling your feet rooting you to the ground. Feeling the crown of your head lifting up towards the clouds. Feeling the soft connections of your body in space. Turning your gaze inwards. Feeling that expansion and release from the inside out with each breath. Take a moment to let your eyes relax, softening any frown lines and tension lines. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth and sigh. Blinking your eyes open. Sweeping both all the way up. Inhale, feel the lift of the ribs. Exhale, open your arms. Nod your chin. Rolling halfway forward until the hands are just in line with your knees. Pause for a moment. And then folding over from the front of the hips. Pause for a moment. And then unravel. Rooting into the feet. Coming all the way up. And lifting tall. Lovely. You think we went off some of the dinner last night?
Yes.
That's it.
Thank you, Renee.
You're so welcome.
Wonderful.
Good.
Thank you. Jesus.